The innate immune response. So, we as humans are exposed to millions of potential pathogens daily. That can be through contact, ingestion, inhalation, basically anything like that. The innate immune response is considered the first line of immune defense because it is active even before infection begins. And it is called innate or natural immunity because it is present at birth and it does not have to be learned through exposure to an invader. During the first critical hours and days of exposure to a new pathogen, we rely on our innate immune system to protect us from the infection. A key property of the innate immune system is the ability to recognize viruses as foreign. The innate immune system can also be known as nonspecific immune system because it is an important subsystem of the overall immune system that compromises the cells and mechanisms that defend the host from infection by other organisms. The innate immune system is always general or nonspecific, meaning that it identifies anything as foreign or non-self is a target for the innate immune response. The system is activated by the presence of an antigen and their chemical properties. The importance of innate immunity is shown by the fact that defects in its components, which are extremely rare, can lead to increase in susceptibility to infection, even in the presence of an intact adaptive immune system. The innate immune system is essentially made up of barriers that aim to keep viruses, bacteria, parasites, and basically any other foreign particles out of your body, or basically to limit their ability to spread and move throughout the body. So, some physical barriers include things such as the skin, the respiratory tract, the GI tract, eyelashes, and other body hair. So, using eyelashes for example, eyelashes help keep dust and other particles out of our eye. And then there's a defense mechanism such as secretions, mucus, bile, saliva, tears, and sweat. So going back to the eyelashes, if something does get past the eyelashes and into your eye, we produce tears to help push those things out of the body. And with the sweat in our skin, we sweat to get toxins out of our body. And then the general immune response, such as inflammation, inflammation is basically the response that brings immune cells to the site of an infection by increasing blood flow to that area. And inflammation is one of the first responses of the immune system to infection or irritation. So inflammation is stimulated by chemical factors released by the injured cells and serves to establish a physical barrier against the spread of infection. And it also promotes healing. The major functions of the vertebrate innate immune system include recruiting immune cells to the site of infection through the production of chemical factors, as well as identification and removal of foreign substances present in our organs, tissue, and blood, and that's done by the specialized white blood cells. And it acts as a physical and chemical barrier to infectious agents. So it keeps things out of our body that aren't supposed to be in there, and it stops infections and basically everything that has to do with things in our bodies that are not supposed to be there. So it's actually really cool to think that our body is made from the beginning to keep foreign things out of our bodies, and when we get sick, it still does that stuff for us. And we just have like an immune defense covering our body, such as the skin, and that helps keep things out and keep things, from getting in. And like our eyelashes and the hair on our head keeps things like that from infecting us, and I think that is extremely important, and a lot of us that don't think about stuff like that. And our body protects us from the outside in and from the inside out from things infecting us that are not supposed to. There are some people that have a basically a messed up innate immune system because their body can't decide what is foreign and what's not foreign, what's part of the body, and that makes them very vulnerable to things making them infected from them getting sick because their body doesn't know what is part of their body. And that's how some people are always in the hospital, because their body doesn't recognize things like that. And this is just a picture of the innate immunity, and epithelial barriers are the skin and everything on the skin. And then we have the phagocytes, which are, it basically means eating cell, which describes the role of the phagocytes that they play in the immune system. So, like it says, they basically eat things that are not supposed to be there. And then we have the dendritic cells, the plasma protein, and the natural killer cells. The dendritic cells are antigen-presenting cells. They basically act as messengers between the innate and the adaptive immune system. The plasma proteins serve many different functions, including the transport of lipids, hormones, vitamins, and minerals in the circulatory system. And they regulate the activity of our bodies and the functioning of the immune system. And then the natural killer cells, they are lymphocytes that are able to bind to certain tumor cells and virus-infected cells without the stimulation of an antigen. And it kills them by inserting into them. So our body is pretty cool that it's able to keep things from infecting us and keep things out of the body, and protecting us by being able to identify what is foreign and what is self.